Let me be real with you from the start. I'm not coming to you clean on this. I've been in these spaces. I've covered drama. I've restreamed. I've said things I've had to go back and apologize for. And I did apologize, because that's what accountability actually looks like. So I'm not up here acting like I've never participated in this culture, because I have. But there are things I've seen recently that I can't sit on, and I need to say something. There is a pregnant woman being mocked. Not criticized for things she's done, mocked. Her body, her bump, her unborn child. People sitting behind cameras and microphones making content out of a baby that hasn't even been born yet. Saying things about that child that I genuinely cannot repeat because they are that disgusting. I don't care what that woman has done. I don't care what drama she's been in, what feuds she's had, what receipts exist. When she became pregnant, that became a protected space. Full stop. You do not get to use someone's pregnancy as ammunition. You do not get to direct hatred at a baby. That's not commentary. That's not accountability. That is cruelty, and you are choosing it on purpose. I stopped covering her the moment I found out she was pregnant. Not because I suddenly think she's a saint, but because I have a line, and that line exists whether it's convenient for my content or not. And then there's something else. There is a mother, a grieving mother, who lost her 23-year-old daughter, suddenly, gone. And instead of being left to grieve, instead of being given even a moment of basic human decency, she has been dragged. Her dead daughter has been called a party girl. Her parenting has been questioned. People are sitting here making content out of a mother's worst nightmare and calling it coverage. She is asking questions. She wants transparency. She wants answers about how her child died, and the response from parts of this community has been to turn her into a villain and her daughter into a punchline. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not here to tell you she's handled everything perfectly. Maybe she hasn't. I don't know what it feels like to lose a child, and I'm not in a position to grade how a mother grieves. That's not mine to judge. What I can judge is the behavior of people who see a woman in the worst pain of her life and decide that's a content opportunity. That's the part that's on you. I have to own something here too. I spread misinformation about that situation. I did. I believed things that weren't true. I repeated them, and it caused harm. And I went back and I said that publicly, because that's what you do when you're wrong. You don't just delete and move on. You say it out loud. But what I'm watching other people do, they're not even at the point of recognizing that what they're doing is wrong. They think this is just the game. They think grief is content. They think a baby in the womb is fair game if the mother has done anything they disagree with. It's not. I don't care how messy someone's history is. Pregnancy is not a weapon. Grief is not a content opportunity. A dead girl deserves better than being characterized by the worst framing strangers on the internet can come up with. And a mother fighting for her child, however imperfectly, deserves to not be mocked while she's still in the thick of the worst pain of her life. There are people in these spaces who have convinced themselves that as long as they frame their cruelty correctly, as long as they call it commentary or holding people accountable, they can say anything about anyone, including babies, including the dead. That's not accountability. Accountability has a floor. It has a line where you look at what's in front of you and you recognize that you're not doing journalism, you're not doing advocacy, You're just being mean on purpose for an audience, for views. I've been in this community long enough to know the difference, and I'm drawing my line here in public so there's no question where I stand. Mock a pregnant woman's body? I'm done with your content. Use a dead girl's memory to score points? I'm done with your content. Pile on a grieving mother to get clout? I'm done with your content. There are things that should make you stop, even if the person isn't innocent, even if the drama is real, even if you've been in it for months. Some things should make you stop, and if they don't, that tells me everything I need to know about you.